They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. I mean, it's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you. There we go. Welcome to Napoleon Hill Institute training. Today's one of my favorite trainings called the stage theory. And I took it from one of my favorite authors of all time, a man named Shakespeare, because it was remarkable. So many years ago, Shakespeare said something that's more relevant to every single person today than ever, which is the whole world is your stage. I promise you, Shakespeare is one of the greatest authors of all time. I can't figure out how he was able to write what he writes as an author myself, kind of like listening or reading Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. They're at a different level of understanding of the English language, of sharing ideas and articulating them. But the one thing that resonated most was when I read The Whole World is Your Stage, because I don't think people realize how important that is. How important it is if the whole world really is your stage. Today's the first time in history where you don't have to wait thousands of years for the whole world to be your stage. It's instant. I have a video that I did, 52 million, well, it's probably more than that now, but 52 million views. Do you know how many people that is? But it's not the whole world. 7.6 billion people would be close to the whole world, and more than 7.6 billion people know who Shakespeare is, they know who Einstein is, and they know who Disney is. But today, you can have the reach of Einstein, Disney, and Shakespeare so quickly if you learn how to utilize the stage theory. My training is exemplary or illustrative of the stage theory, which has 4 different components that are simple and inexpensive. 4 different components that are simple and inexpensive for you to reach the possibility of 7.6 billion people. Number 1, the stage, well, let me get into my AI notes as well. So just as teaching. So one of the cool things about doing this too is I can create these outlines for these different trainings in a matter of seconds. I don't look at them, and I just put the notes there so I can pretend as if I'm teaching this off the top of my head, so I can say things like this, whether we realize it or not, we're already on stage. Every interaction, every post, every conversation is part of a performance that tells the world who we are and what we stand for, our essence. As Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage. Today, the stage is global, and it's called social media. What makes the most successful people and brands stand out isn't a big budget or perfect strategy. It's our ability to capture real moments, to capture emotion, the energy in motion, and then modify them for the right platforms, amplify them to reach the right audience, and perpetuate them so they, especially with AI today, continue to work for us. We create a social feeding system. No matter what the algorithms are, I was talking about the importance of email, no matter what the algorithms are or they become, the idea of social media is very simple, is that the people who own the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, all of Threads, X, whatever you are on, it's really simple. If this person is feeding off of this idea, this theme, this topic, this subject matter, whatever it may be, if they feed on it, whether they like it or not, if they're feeding on it, we're going to feed them more of it. So you could hate David Meltzer, but you stay on for 30 minutes hating David Meltzer. I call it the Howard Stern theory, right? Because it was genius when Howard Stern says, I really don't give a fuck. Because if you ask who watches me, it's the people who love me go, yes, I love Howard Stern because I can't wait to hear what he says next. Or they say, I hate Howard Stern. I can't wait to hear what he says next. But he didn't have the automatic system that we have today, that all the people that would love and hate Howard Stern would just keep feeding Howard Stern. The more time they spend on Howard Stern, the platform, no matter what the algorithm is we will feed for free this feed. This is why the perpetual social silo and the conscious understanding of our essence within the context of our entire body of work. Not just one video, our entire body of work, because you never know what video it is. It could be a video that only has 100 views on LinkedIn that leads them down a rabbit hole to another video that 100 views, that then leads them to another one and another one and another one and another one. And all of a sudden, every single Dave Meltzer, you're using the stage theory when they come up to you and say two things. One, man, you are everywhere. That means you're feeding them. Or they say this, I'm so sorry, I didn't know who you were. You're sorry that you didn't know who 7.6 billion people out there, and you're apologizing that you don't know who David Meltzer is. That's the stage theory. Thank you. Keep on apologizing that you don't know who I am when the whole world doesn't know who I am. Believe it or not, more people don't know who Kim Kardashian is than do. More people don't know who Kim Kardashian is than do. But yet in your mind, she's everywhere. And she's a billionaire. So in this training, we're going to walk you through these 4 steps of the stage theory that will change your life forever and your family and your grandkids' life, because it's perpetual. And it'll show you how you can turn everyday actions of who you are, who you think, believe, feel, your essence into a powerful, long-lasting brand asset with no scripts, no filters, just truth shared intentionally of who you are, what you are, your frequency, your essence, because it will resonate with 10% of the people, no matter what, that will love you, and 10% no matter what, that will hate you. And the more consistent you are, the more you'll adapt to the other 80%. So let's take control of the stage. Let me teach you how to take your everyday life and your essence and make a lot of money and help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. So in the context of how I do my trainings now, because of AI and because of the stage theory, I usually set in 6 lessons. In each lesson, you'll hear me say, like I will now, if you would like my exercise or guide or my book for free, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. @D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. Let me be your beloved servant. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. And so you'll hear me within the context of my training, because there's so many people, and this is the stage theory. More people will watch this later than are watching it now, right? They've registered. And so if they're not in attendance, which most people, because of the way they do free things, they don't show up. They're getting emailed every single week, twice a week, my free training, and it's included in my newsletter on Tuesday. And so we end up getting, from over 500,000 people registered, we end up getting millions of people watching pieces and part, if not whole, of my training. And they get to hear, because I don't know what part or piece they're going to see. What do they get to hear? David@dmeltzer.com. This is all part of the stage theory while I'm teaching the stage theory. And the first lesson of the stage theory is the stage is set, and social media is our global platform. Whatever you do, that's the end that it is illustrated and perpetuated on. Why does that matter? Because all the world is truly a stage. And today, social media is the most powerful stage we've ever had. If we're not intentionally using it to share our message and build our brand, we're missing an opportunity to create connection, impact, and revenue at scale. No better way to be credible, emotionally connect with people, and articulate a value to exceed what you're asking for. I will repeat that. There's no better way to build credibility, have an emotional connection, or articulate value to exceed what I'm asking for. If I can achieve those three things to 10 people a day, that's great. But what if it was 10 million people a day? You can imagine the success that you can have in the credibility, the emotional connection, and the ability to articulate value to exceed what you're asking for. This is just numbers, but it takes clarity, focus, and harmony of intention to use this in consistency. That video I talked about with 50-some million views has nothing to do with what I teach. It was, I was smart enough to have a camera when I woke up at 4 in the morning on a Saturday to go work out. My daughter, who was 16 at the time, her car was missing. And I have to tell you, I freaked the F out. I called her immediately, no answer. Called her again immediately, text her, no answer. Called her again. While I was getting more and more upset, I still get choked up thinking about how effed up that was when you are in that position. Just got her license. I called for the 8th time and she answers. By that time, there was no reason. There was just emotion. So I said, "Where the fuck are you?" "Dad, what are you yelling at?" "I'm in my room." "Oh, well, where the fuck's your car?" "Oh, Dad, you told me if kids are drinking that I should just leave my car and Uber everybody home." Wow. Now, that story, I sat down and hung up, and I was sitting there thinking about how I almost screwed up my relationship with my daughter if I would have continued on, blaming her, right? Like a lot of parents do. And so I clicked the phone to video me, not live. And I just started to express what I was thinking, how I felt, how I could be a better parent, how parents mess up their relationship out of love and fear, what ignorant arrogance was. And I got all this content down. I captured it all. And then I did a meetup and I talked about it some more, vented, cathartic, all these things. And then eventually I sent it, right? I captured all this. I sent it out to people I don't know in a very inexpensive manner to edit it into a video. And then I amplified it for free. I posted it. And people started to watch it. And they started to share it. And they started to comment. "Oh my God, I've been that parent." And then I loved the other ones that, added more fuel to the fire. "What kind of parent are you that you let your kid drink?" Right? There's all kinds of people. Very cool, right? People loving on Dave Meltzer. People hating on Dave Meltzer. In the end, 53 million views. And I probably made more money than most people make in a year on that one video. Because 53 million people is a lot of people when we know the whole world is our stage. I still laugh at my team sometimes. They'll say, "I'm really sorry, video didn't do well. There's 42,000 views." And I say to myself, if somebody called me right now and told me I could stand on the pitcher's mound at Angel Stadium and give 3 minutes of my idea of how to be a good parent, I would drop everything and go to Angel Stadium, including my VIP dinner tonight, to stand on the pitcher's mound at Angel Stadium. And here's the funny thing. There's probably not 42,000 people there at the beginning of the game. And if they are in the stadium, most of them aren't even going to listen to me. I've thrown the pitch out at 3 different Major League stadiums, and I don't know if all my family was watching. The video's great. It does really well. This video tied into that will do really well with a little B-roll. See how this all works? Don't discount the world as your stage. We see a financial coach online share one short daily tip on TikTok and build a following over 100,000 people in just 6 months, simply by consistently showing up on a platform aligned with their audience at their frequency. Do you know how long in the old days it would take for a financial coach to have an awareness of 100,000 people? 100,000 people. But we discount it because we don't understand the stage theory and the value of capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate. We don't need to go viral. We need to go consistent. I'm going to repeat that. You don't got to go viral. You just got to go consistent. I get paid a ton of money, not because of how many, but because of who. And I have the who that are engaged with me because I'm consistent. Because if I'm consistent, the who are out there, and the who will keep on wanting more David Meltzer because I am aligned with their frequency. They are who I want. I don't try to attract 19-year-old life coaches that stop me at the airport and tell me they want to get a picture with me. Yes, it's very good for the ego, and I never dreamed that that would happen. And when it does, I feel good for minutes and moments. But you know what feels better? Is going to the Super Bowl and the CEO of Sleep Number Bed, Shelly Ibach, come up to you and go, I love your content. And me saying, oh, where do you follow me? And her saying, I don't follow you. I don't follow anyone. I watch you on LinkedIn. 100,000 19-year-old life coaches bothering me at the airport to take pictures with me every single airport I'm at, which is about 200 a year, or one Shelly Ibach, CEO of Sleep Number, who wants to do a collaboration with me as a spokesperson because she knows from the videos that I talk about that sleep is my number one non-negotiable, and I have a sleep coach for over 18 years. I have credibility, emotional attachment, and have articulated value to exceed what I'm asking for with Sleep Number. Do you think Sleep Number would ever hire David Meltzer in the past but for the stage theory? Do you think they were knocking down my door when I was representing Troy Aikman? Oh, Mr. Meltzer, can you do videos for us for sleep? That would be a big waste of money. But today, I'm able and capable not only to be credible, but have an emotional connection with Shelly Ibach and also be able to articulate a quantitative value to exceed what I was asking for as an ambassador to a bed company or a sleep company or a drink company or Adobe, which is a great company. You don't need to go viral. You need to go consistent. Write it down. Commit to showing up on one platform and then modifying it for the others. Show up every day on one platform live, then modify it for the others. View all of social media as a stage, not a spotlight. When you're throwing out the first pitch, it's a spotlight. When you're doing a video about you throwing out the first pitch and talking about the credibility and emotion and value of it, it's now a stage. And it becomes that way with the power we've been given today. So focus on providing value, which is given in 3 ways, not perfection. So I'm constantly, the value I'm trying to portray, for example, as I've done stuff for Adobe and hope to do more for Adobe. See how I'm using this? It's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Adobe's amazing. But what do? You tell people what they like about Adobe, what's working for them about Adobe, what they know about them. If you give them more of what they like, more of what they know, and more of what's working with Adobe, you've added value. If you also can take away what they don't like, what they don't know, or what's not working, if you can take that away, it's even more value. So I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for value because every company is not perfect, But every company can give people more of what they like, more of what they know, and more of what's working, take away what they don't like, what they don't know, and what's not working. The stage is already set. Social media is that platform. We need to capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate on that stage. If you would like the stages set exercise, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The second lesson of the stage theory is to utilize the stage theory with a practice every day, a system, a framework of capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate. Most of us wait for the perfect moment. They try to manufacture moments. They get outside of their essence. One of the things when I started doing TV and as a host of different entrepreneurial shows is I'd ask these producers, well, what do you like? What do you want me to do? Who do you want me to be? And they're like, you're screwed. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you know how exhausting that's going to be for you if you're going to do 10 seasons of Office Hours, 10 seasons of Elevator Pitch, 10 seasons of 2-minute drill, 10 seasons of Go Fund Yourself, pretending to be something you're not. That seems like a really exhausting host position for you. Maybe you should just try to be you. That seems pretty easy and repetitive, and you can capture it, modify it, amplify it, and perpetuate it according to the audience. We see speakers all the time record a backstage warm-up, repurpose it for Reels, YouTube Shorts, and LinkedIn, and generate thousands of views without ever doing formal content. That backstage stuff. I'll stand in front of audiences of 4,000 people. Nobody wants to watch this speech. Probably not even the 4,000 people there. But something backstage, a conversation, a picture, millions of people want to see. This is the idea of capturing, modifying, amplifying, and perpetuating. Capture, film what we're already doing, calls, meetings, events, but share your emotions, how it makes you feel. That's what people always want to know. Maya Angelou set the record straight. Nobody's going to remember what you say. They only remember how you make them feel. I am successful because I know how I make people feel. I did the interview yesterday with Urban Meyer, and people said it was amazing. I cried, I laughed, I was perplexed. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was going to make you feel that way. I knew that I can't talk about my mom without getting choked up. I know what stories, because I stay connected to my emotions. I also know what stories are intellectually challenging that are going to make you feel a certain way. I also know stories that will inspire you so that you don't quit. I already know how I'm going to make you feel, but I need to make sure I'm capturing those stories, modifying them correctly, amplifying them, and perpetuating them to continually make people feel that way. Capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate. Have a strategy for each 4 every day. Make sure you're prepared, aligned, take action, and prepare for adjustment. If you don't have a recording device on you of some time while you're in professional mode, if not even personal mode, that's your own values, I think you're making a huge mistake. It's so easy to do. So easy to do, to grab your phone or a camera or an arm, whatever it may be. If you would like the stage theory, capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate exercise so you can practice it and be consistent, not viral, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The third lesson, really important lesson to everything I do. Most people don't understand it the first time they hear it, but it means most to me. It's probably my secret sauce to everything. Find our frequency. Your frequency is your neighborhood. Your frequency is your community. A brand is equated to your community. That's what your brand is. It's not what you wear. It's not the color. It's not your logo. It's not your website. Your community is your brand. Because the most successful thing you can have is a community of people that do 2 things: buy from you and sell for you for life. If I could guarantee Adobe 1 million people that were buying from them and selling for them for life, they would pay me a shitload. That's my goal. They say, look, I got a whole community of people and they're buying from me and selling for me for life, and I'm going to tell them to buy from you and sell for you for life. That's Forget marketing dollars. That is a gold mine. And that only comes from frequency. A brand without emotional resonance is just noise. And there's too much noise today. It's not going to do anything for you. When we understand our frequency, we attract the people for our message. We know who's listening for us. We see business owners all the time with smaller audience consistently share behind the scenes moments with customer wins and generate more referrals and than competitors by far with larger and less engaged followings than they have because they know their frequency. Your brand, our brand is like a radio station. People tune in when the message feels like it's speaking directly to them. Define our emotional tone. Are we energizing, empowering, calming, or bold? Use the language and visuals that align with our audience. We had a speaker today, right, that is blue collar built. And his frequency, to me, was blue collar built. Yeah, he was a Ford truck, exactly. That was who his frequency was. We have one of the world's leading spine surgeons, orthopedic surgeon, and his frequency was all about world leading in itself. They have defined their emotional tone. They use the language, the visuals that align with the audience. And we need to ask ourselves regularly, does this feel like me? Does that feel like me? Am I comfortable and confident in what I just said because of the way it made me feel? Whether or not I cared what people think, right? I have taken years to learn two things, JOPO and JOMO. Joy of other people's opinion and joy of missing out. If you can learn JOMO and JOPO, I promise you, you will find your frequency. Because that's what interrupts with your frequency is FOMO and FOPO. You try to be something you're not. I just asked myself, did that feel like me when I walk off stage? I don't care if they're standing. If you want standing ovations, I'm going to teach you, everybody right now, the secret of getting a standing ovation every time. Okay, here we go. Stand up. Stand up. You want a standing ovation? I've done this for years. If you want to understand the stage theory and you want a standing ovation, regardless of how you made them feel, here's how you do it. Who here loves their mom? Yeah? All right. I am a 58-year-old mama's boy. I live for my mom. Can we do a favor to the universe and to yourselves? Let's cheer for your mom. Come on. Everybody right now. Let me hear for your mom. No. Come on. Let's hear for. Is that all? That's all you love your mom? Let's hear it one more time for your mom. Imagine what that looks like on a video. All right. So if you want a standing ovation, it's easy. But if you want to build a community, then you need to know how you felt. I walk off stage and the first question I ask is, did that feel like me? Or do I feel like an imposter? Am I just trying to get attention or just did some trick to get everybody to give me a standing ovation? Because that does not feel like me. I can do it. But when I walked off the stage in Columbus, Ohio, and I said, OH, and everyone said, IO, man, that felt like me. And everybody felt it. I came up and high-fived everyone and like, that was fucking awesome. Yes, it was, because it was me. That's what I believe in. And all the Michigan people hated me. Lesson number 4, if you'd like, find our frequency exercise or guide, david@dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. Let me be your beloved servant, david@dmeltzer.com. Ask me for help. I'll give you my books, my guides, my exercises. I will pay for shipping and the books. I'll sign it for you if you'd like to evaluate it. Doesn't matter. All right, lesson 4. How much time I have? I don't have a clock. Okay, cool. Lesson number 4, strength, spectrum, and clarity. So if we're talking about frequency, we want a stronger signal. Why? Because it's going to make people feel more. We want a wider spectrum. Why? Because we'll reach more people. And we want clarity. Because one of the problems that I have is clarity, because I speak sometimes in Meltzerisms. because I study and do research all the time. And if I start talking about frequency to a crowd that never even heard about vibration and has never done any work with vibration or frequency or awareness, don't meditate, have no idea, they're going to feel me. They're huge spectrum, but they're not going to understand. And I've had clients who have told me for years now, yeah, when I first, dude, I just fucking loved you. And I knew you were saying shit that I needed to learn, but I had no idea what you were talking about. This whole frequency thing, right? I'm a financial Wall Street guy. I don't know what vibration has to do with anything. And I said, I feel you, because I was the same way. So I started telling stories about how when I met the woman who taught me about frequency and vibration, how I was so resistant to it. And I'm like rolling my eyes at her when she's like, oh, I could teach you to elevate your frequency and be more aware and do meditation, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't have time for that. I'm already rich. Only broke people that are sick and high on their mom's couch, they need to meditate, not me. But then she met me where I was. Like, I try to meet people like they are, with strength, spectrum, and clarity. And she said, that's too bad, because I can teach you through meditation to elevate your frequency, your awareness of when to buy or sell. I'm like, shit, I can make a lot of money if I know when to buy or sell. Anybody could make a lot of money. Maybe I am interested in meditation and vibration and frequency. We can't grow what we can't define. To build a lasting community or brand, our message must be powerful, relevant, and easy to understand. Powerful, relevant, easy to understand. We remember, the simple things to do are already simple not to do. So if we can make it complex, we are now making it less simple, and now we're making it even harder to do than the simple things to do that are already simple not to do. We see a podcast grow all the time by focusing on a specific niche, delivering content that speaks directly to that audience. My number one podcast, fastest growing podcast, is a podcast called the Well-Oiled Machine Podcast, where I post one day of my calendar, and Nick of WOM and I talk through the subtleties of success of how to use the calendar, of how I use my time, all the different tricks and subtleties of being efficient, effective, and statistically successful, productive, accessible, and gracious with time. When I first did it, the very first episode, we're on episode number 44. We haven't missed a week. It also is included in the podcasts that are being sold right now, and it's one that they specifically wanted. My wife said, don't do this. And she would never hurt the Nick of WOM's feeling. She has no problem with mine, but literally hated it so much and said, this is stupid. She literally was going like this when we did the first WOM podcast. Like, cut. This is so dumb. Nobody's ever going to want to hear about your calendar. It's pretty freaking niche. But guess what? Everybody that's in that niche fucking loves the WOM podcast. They are waiting for us to give them the next tip where, when we parked at the airport, we leave the rent-a-car tail sticking out a little bit farther, so we always know where our car is and we never lose it, and that saves so much time. Like, all these little things that time freaks like me love, that my wife hates because she doesn't give a shit about time, as long as she's on time for her tennis match. Specific is scalable. Strength, spectrum, and clarity. Clarity builds authority because people understand what you're saying. You could be as smart as anything. I've talked about Shakespeare earlier, who created the stage theory by telling us the whole world's your stage. But let's be honest. Anyone reads Shakespeare and is clear about what the fuck he's saying? Like, you generally get the story. I read the Cliff Notes on it because I was trying to figure out Romeo and Juliet, which is a pretty simple story about love, right? Just like Jerry Maguire, great love story with the sports backdrop instead of that other backdrop. But think about it. Like, it's so unclear. Where clarity brings this great scalability and authority to you. Strength, ask for feedback, but remember, nobody likes feedback in the present. I'll repeat that. Strength in asking for feedback, but nobody, including you, is going to like feedback in the present. So how long is it going to take you to go ahead and assess and align with the feedback? Because the human nature is going to tell you, oh, I hate that. The guy just told me the truth, and it's resonating with me. Even though they love you, nobody likes feedback in the present. Spectrum, hitting as many people as you can. Define who the audience is and who it isn't. Right? You time freaks, you calendar freaks, you love the WOM. My wife and those women hate the WOM. Nobody wants to sit and look at a day's calendar of David Meltzer and learn subtleties of success of how David Meltzer saves time with his calendar. Student of the calendar. Who cares if 99% of 7.6 billion people don't want to look at my calendar? I will gladly take the other 0.1 billion people that love the calendar. My grandkids will never have to work if I can do that. JOMO, remember? Joy of missing out. JOPO, joy of other people's opinion. This is what the stage theory brings. If anybody would like the exercises and guides on spectrum strength and clarity, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. All right, now it's lesson number 5. Authenticity or essence over optics. This is the whole energy gap that exists within the stage theory, and it's this. This is what I am, authentically my essence. This is what I am. This is what I want people to think I am. And that energy gap is going to create so much interference in your own life, but more importantly, we have to stay on top of our kids. Remember, the ego, it's evolved. It evolved from protecting the body, so the saber-toothed tiger doesn't kill us. Then it started to protect the mind, so that, you hurt my feelings. To today, what is it protecting? It's protecting a perception of you, an illusion of you. And so the ego is evoked by something that doesn't even exist. It's what I think, or I want people to think, or I think that they think, and it's creating a huge energy gap, interference between them and their potential, them and their self-image, and they'll never overachieve their own self-image. So we need to teach authenticity and let people feel comfortable and confident for who they are. And if we don't start appreciating our differences instead of attacking them and separating ourselves because of them, I am here to tell you, under the authenticity versus optics, that every single person in the world is not equal. It's literally impossible. We are not equal. But in America, at least, we should be afforded the equal opportunity. And the only way we get to equal opportunity for a whole bunch of different people, a whole bunch of misfits that make a beautiful whole, is to appreciate our differences. Not to separate ourselves by them, not to have a need to be right, offended, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful. Just, hey, man, I want to appreciate what you like and what you don't like. I want to appreciate your opinion. I don't have to agree with your opinion. I'm just going to appreciate it. I want to know why you think that, why that makes you feel that way. I don't have to agree with it. But we have to choose authenticity over the optics that cause a false illusion that creates a defense through the ego that is an illusion in itself, and it creates a separation in itself. Don't connect with perfection, connect with the truth. The fastest way we grow is being real about our story, values, and mission. Remember what Tim Story was talking about? The biggest liar, the biggest lies are all told to ourselves. Look in the fucking mirror, know that you don't like feedback, and give yourself the truth, the feedback that you don't like. I see founders share vulnerable moments, failures. They receive far more engagement than the opportunity of a polished, professional, promotional content. I advise people on finance far more now because I've lost over $100 million than when I made it. More people will call me and say, can you coach me? Can you help me? I know you lost over $100 million. I need your help. They don't say, oh, can you help me? I know you made over $100 million twice in your life. I don't think anyone's ever called me and asked me to coach them and said, I know you've made over $100 million twice in your life. Can you coach me? Almost everyone said, I know you lost everything. Can you coach me? Vulnerability is just the truth. It doesn't take courage to be yourself. It takes JOMO and JOPO. That's all. A joy of other people's opinion, the joy of missing out. Authenticity isn't just a value, it's our advantage. Because nobody's like you. You're not equal. You're you. And nobody has your fingerprint. Nobody has your stories. Nobody has your lessons. Nobody can tell it like you. Share both lessons of successes and wins. Show our face, our team, our process. And remember, most importantly, people follow people, not brands. People follow people that are credible, that connect with me emotionally, and are capable of articulating a value to exceed what they're asking for. But you got to make the ask. Kim Walsh Phillips, and what she does for me is she gives me clarity in my ask. It gives me a way to connect. I'm great at credibility. I'm great at emotional connection. But if I don't ask, what good is it? Whole bunch of people that like you? I can't help those people. But if they contact me and ask me for help, I can help them. So I give them my email. I have an ask. I have doctors on here that will do assessments for them. They ask, and we give them their contact information. If you would like the exercises and guides about authenticity over optics, if you want to shorten the resistance that we create in our lives, the energy gap between I am and this is what I want people to think I am, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We want to stay on the stage. We want to stay in our brand. We want to stay in our business. In order to do so, we need to capture what we're doing. We have to capture us. We need to modify it. We have to have a strategy, and it changes over time. When we start, it may just be you capturing, you modifying, you amplifying, and you perpetuating. And then it becomes you get a team to modify for you, and you still amplify and perpetuate. Then you get a team to amplify, and now you have a team to perpetuate. It'll grow. It won't if you don't stay on stage and stay in business. The stage is set. Social media is that global platform. The stage theory tells you to capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate your essence. Find our frequency. Your frequency is your neighborhood, your community is your brand. And you will grow that community of people that want to buy from you and sell for you by strengthening your signal, widening the spectrum, and clarifying the message so people understand what you're saying. And always remember your authenticity over the optics. Have JOMO and JOPO. The joy of missing out, the joy of other people's opinion. We need to stay on stage and stay in business. The greatest brands aren't built in studios anymore. They're not built in boardrooms anymore. They're built in real time, on real stages, in front of real people. They're built when your daughter's car isn't out there at 4 a.m. Social media gives all of us a constant opportunity to show who we are and what we do and how we do it and why it matters, for the sake of what. When we embrace the stage theory, we stop chasing content and start capturing impact. We stop creating for the algorithm and start creating from authenticity. What we've learned is simple. The people who consistently stay on stage are the ones who stay in business. We show up, we repurpose, we share the truth. And because of that, we build something that lasts. We don't need to wait for the perfect time or the perfect post. We're already doing things worth sharing. Now it's time for us to capture them, to modify them, to amplify them and perpetuate them. Our brand is our community. Our community needs to be captured and is worth sharing. Our community is our brand. A community of people that are here to help one another and know people that will help one another, that will buy from us and sell for us for life. Let's own it. To thine own self, be true. The whole world is your stage. God bless Shakespeare. God bless the stage theory. And God bless you. I appreciate everyone. If you'd like the exercises, guides, or my books for free, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. Let me be your beloved servant. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, we'll be in tonight in Los Angeles. If you're around, we'd love to have you at one of our VIP dinner experiences for charity. Then we will be off to, she's putting it up there, I'm sure. There we go. I'll be in New York. Come and visit us. Mastermind speeches, holding court meetups, and of course, VIP experience dinner for charity. Then Las Vegas with Bill Walsh. Come and join us in the lobby of the Wynn. We have a beautiful studio, plus the car wash, meetups, holding courts, interviews, speeches, masterminds, and a VIP dinner for charity. Then back to New York, Bahamas, and so many other cities. Just remember, please, to be more interested than interesting. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Text me if you want to join our brand, our community. Area code 949, next 3 numbers 298, last 4 numbers 2905, 949-298-2905. But most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
They discovered it, they read it, and they applied it. It's the golden thread that connects the titans of the self-development industry, the source that spawned millions of millionaires, the original blueprint to success.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. A classic.
And I love Think and Grow Rich. I love it. It's right here. It's one of my favorite books of all time.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
This material is what changed my life. This is the material I study every day. From being an immigrant woman, coming from poverty, and really coming to America and literally achieving the American dream. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this man, for what he did for me and my family.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
People don't realize is that when we let our ego get in our way, ego is the loss, the fear of loss. So need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be hurt, fearful. When that trajectory changes, what happens is you continually go the wrong way. So my job as a coach is to say, let's get into the enjoyment of the direct pursuit of my potential. Right? And so when the light went on, it was not about the potential of making money and being an entrepreneur, which is one of my specialties. And I said to him, look, this is an opportunity now to show how great you really are. We can't let the outside voices, right, determine our success. The happiness that we have comes within. Why are you going to give that control to somebody else?
Thoughts become things. And I always wonder, why did no one teach us this? Why did we not learn this in school? Why did we not learn this from our families? If you make your study a priority, your life will change.
And I came up with 4 really valuable things that I took stock in. And the first one was gratitude. Simple gratitude. Although I grew up with nothing, I was always grateful. Throughout the whole process of consistently, persistently pursuing my potential, I was grateful. It made my past better, my present brighter, and my future even brighter than that. In fact, I tell people all the time, if you want to change your life, change your employee's life, your family life, it's very simple. 2 words, say thank you.